My beloved family, every year for the past 10 years, I have hosted the Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition. Over the years, it would have grown by leaps and bounds to engulf the whole nation and beyond. As His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey has taught us, a people without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots. Internationally, wherever African people are found, the education system is not geared to teach them about the knowledge of self. This lack of knowledge of self greatly fuels the downward spiral from the womb to the tomb for many of our people. Let me remind you of the officially recognized school to prison pipeline. The African History Month essay competition has been designed to encourage and inspire the zeal in our children for the knowledge of self. The competition encourages them to research their history and heritage, then articulate it in essay form. This is a project that demands thousands of dollars just for the basic prizes, marketing, and promotion. But we are not focused on the basics. We are thinking big. We have children to save. On Sunday, the 5th of November, 2023, we of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will be hosting the third of our annually presented Patron's Day. On that day, we present our international webathon designed to create and raise the funds for our national and international African History Month essay competition. To deliver a well-executed Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition with prize-giving ceremony and banquet attached, the budget will be $26,500 United States currency. This is for the national essay competition, while the international essay competition will be $31,225 United States currency, a small price for the results that will come. It is obvious that we have been consistent with this project. We have a clear record of good accountability and great transparency. So those who are well-wishers of our children should feel free to contribute to this very important and timely project. Our ultimate target on Patron's Day, the 5th of November, 2023, is $57,725. Family, we are looking for your genuine assistance in this long-running, well-respected project, Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge African History Month essay competition. Patron's Day, 5th of November, 2023. You can contribute via PayPal, CashApp, and via other apps. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Give thanks in advance.
Royal family, give thanks, glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Of course, wonderful, joyous moment just to be in your presence, the Honorable Priest Isaac here. Represent the Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And this evening, I definitely want to take the moment to just highlight the importance of the upcoming Patrons Day, to highlight the importance of our webathon, to highlight the importance of the projects that we will be launching. Of course, by now, many of you know that we will be launching the Save the Green Castle Hill project, Rescue Mount Anu. I will tell you a bit about that as we go through. And of course, what I really want to highlight this evening, as you would have just seen, is, of course, we are here to preserve the generations to come. Not necessarily just the next generation, not necessarily the younger generations, but generations to come. Those here and generations to come. Now, the campaign to preserve the generations to come is really a document that I will be preparing and presenting on the 5th of November. So family, you got to be here for Patrons Day. This is going to be a Patrons Day unlike any other Patrons Day. Now, the document that I will be presenting, obviously it will be my brainchild, it will be my thoughts, you could say it will be my opinions as it relates to us taking a grip, yes, on the younger generation, who will become the older generation in time, and another younger generation will take place, and the generations will continually come. So those of us who have some comprehension of how to steer and guide young ones in the right direction, I thought that it was imperative for us to come together and prepare a document that would assist, somewhat of a torchlight, to encourage the young minds to evolve and to grow into sound, sane, thinking individuals. Now, of course, this is really aimed at individuals or children, youth, people of African ancestry. And this is why the Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition is a very, very important part of this documentation that we will be presenting on the 5th of November. But before we go too far, let me just give you a bit of idea of what the 5th of November Patrons Day is all about. Now, really, the 3rd of November is when we celebrate the resurrection of Radio Anu. Radio Anu specifically is our international online radio station 24/7, where we bring you information and inspiration, a lot of things that we do not express on the other networks. You get it on Radio Anu. Now, Radio Anu had its little struggles, let's just say, in the past with some societies that are well established, but yet still Radio Anu conquered all of that and resurrected itself approximately 3 years ago. So on the 3rd of November, which is the celebration of the coronation of Menelik II, Emperor of Ethiopia, we really celebrate the resurrection of Radio Anu. Now, in this year, 2023, the 3rd of November is going to stand on a Friday, and we decided that we would move the festivities to a Sunday because the festivities is like an all-day event. I'm talking about Patrons Day. First of all, let me tell you, get your pen and your pad, just in case you're going to, need to retain all of what I'm going to tell you. Because Patrons Day really begins at midnight. So midnight, I'm talking Eastern Caribbean time, Eastern Standard Time, at midnight on the 3rd of November, when you could say the system says the 3rd of November begins. You turn on Radio Anu. All you're going to hear is up-to-date Nyabingi stalking through the house, stalking through the land, stalking through the earth. And it will be Nyabingi until the sun comes up, at least where we are in the Eastern Caribbean. And then at 6, the morning devotion will kick in and Patrons Day will begin. And the Patrons Day technically is going until 6, the setting of the sun. So what will be taking place specifically on Radio Anu is an all-day affair. We're going to have different speakers coming in. Honorable Prince Jahili will be leading us in a meditation early in the uprising. We have Honorable Ras Isern, who will be coming in and will be speaking on things that are pertaining to life and different issues. Honorable Kes Westmore from Welcome to the House of Priests, priest of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, will be here with us. We expect the presence of Ras I Adonis, the rabbi, also will be coming in and sitting and supping with us. Of course, myself and the Honorable Empress Naya will be hosting and co-hosting throughout the day. And at the same time, the Honorable Empress Naya will be making a very special presentation as well as it relates to the International Homeschool. Hold on, there's more. Hey, listen, there's much, much more. The Honorable Princess Acacia Menin and the Honorable Prince Alamase will be giving you a very special youth university, so make sure you are there. Hold on now. I myself, will be making a special presentation. I'll be making a few special presentations on that day. Special presentation number one, I will be presenting to you, as I just mentioned, the document which is entitled Preserving the Generations to Come. And this document entitled Preserving the Generations to Come is a document that will be highlighting somewhat of a manifesto. Again, highlighting, at least from my perspective, how a nation, not necessarily an individual, how a nation can take its youth and specifically mold them in a way to bring out a better result than we are getting today. And that's basically it, because you have to keep in mind now, the reason why I went straight to the nation, the reason why I went to the system is because the system that we are trapped in to some degree is a system that has an educational program, as it is referred to as. And in many cases, I'm not just talking about in the Caribbean, I'm talking all over. In many cases, if you as a parent refuses to adapt to their educational system, they have penalties and punishments that are set aside for you. So in other words, you don't want your child to go to their school that is teaching them things that are totally off the grid, you know, that are not a school system that is not giving your child the nutrients for development and growth as an African mind. Obviously, those of you who are conscious, you won't want your children to go there. That's why many want opt for homeschool. We ourselves have an international homeschool program that we would have, first of all, done on our own children, and we would have expressed to the world and exported to the universe for those who desire to be a part of our international homeschool program. All of that is a part of the strategy of bringing up wholesome youths. But even if they're not quote-unquote homeschooled, you understand, we as an African people, we have no problem with institutions. We have no problem with children of the society and the community coming together and being taught by the elders and the wise ones. That's not a problem. The problem is that the system that we live in, that's what I'm talking about, internationally, doesn't really cater for the minds of the African child. Maybe caters for somebody else. Let's just be square here. But I know for sure when Marcus Mosiah Garvey says a people without knowledge of self is like a tree without a root, I mean, that can apply to us. We are a people who have been robbed of knowledge of self. And many of us so robbed of this knowledge of self that even though knowledge of self is right in front of us now, we refuse to go and pick it up. You understand? So now we are in a position where we have to inspire our people to seek for knowledge of self. And family, that is why I really started the essay competition. Now, outside of the big picture for the 5th of November, which is, again, I will be presenting a whole manifesto as it relates to preserving the generations to come. But one part of that manifesto is what you all are already accustomed to, the National Essay Competition. This is going to be, listen to this, this is going to be the 11th year. This is going to be the 11th year that your good brother would have been, you know, hosting this Priest Isaac African History Month essay competition. You understand? And you have to keep in mind, you know, I need to show you this. You have to keep in mind, at least 5 years prior to us bringing in the essay competition, we were advocating for African history. At that time, I wasn't saying heritage, it was just history. We were advocating for African history in the schools. So every prime minister, every minister of education, every director of education would have received at least one letter from me. And it's more than one because every year I did it, as it relates to putting African history into the schools. And then after a while, I said, hey, listen, this doesn't seem like it's as if it's working, you know. In fact, a specific education minister told me that the CXC, which is the Caribbean Examination Council, will not allow that. That's what she said. That's about 12, maybe 13 years ago. Then after that, I decided that, no, man, I got to do something else. And I created the African History Month essay competition. Now, the reason why I use African History Month, and I mean, I've never been really against African History Month, but I've never been a big fan. I mean, I give thanks, I respect where it came from. You must understand what the elder brother Carter G. Woodson would have done, at least to establish that in the US of A. But because I know it's the shortest month and I know they're trying something, I always advocated for us being, you know, of our anciency, our ebonite history, our African history. Some people run from these terms, but we know what we're talking about 24/7, 365. Okay, but I noticed now, because they gotta be strategic, eh? You know, I mean, if you're a chess player, you know what I'm talking about. You got to be strategic. And we noticed that that the society began to somehow accept the presence of African History Month. Now, when I was going to these schools, you couldn't even say Africa. You may get licks to say Africa. Tell you about Africa. I'm telling you, it was that bad. We hated Africa. In fact, we still do, you know, but it's a bit subtle than what it was then. But I'm just showing you that when I realized that they started to have African History Month pageants at school, and they would have an African History Month dress-up day where they would wear African clothes or something similar to. So I said, all right, let's capitalize on this. Instead of fighting the wave, go with the flow. You may be beyond African History Month. Yes, you may be beyond the month of February, but they are not there yet. In fact, the fact that they even said African History Month, that was like a ray of light. So I said, I'm going to patronize this. I'm going to capitalize on this. Patrons, they patronize. I'm going to capitalize on this. In fact, patronize too, because it is our financial ability that would have guided, I'm serious, the essay competition to be on stage for 11 years, and that's a fact. Although it's a project from the beginning where we would have, you know, gone out and asked for assistance, the vast majority of the time, I'm telling you, it is myself that use my own personal finance to make sure this project goes through. Now, what's the reason for the project? Well, I mean, why? Is it just something to do? No, not from my perspective. Now, I know people do essay competitions. Well, at least around here, essay competitions have become a fad. Now, they have an independence competition that I think they've been doing for 4 years. And they have the same title every year. I think what does independence mean to you? Now, my essay is what does African history and heritage mean to you? And I've been doing that for 11 years. Now, independence competition is about 4 years, not to exceed 5. And their competition says, what does independence mean to you? So you don't have to ask where the idea came from. You comprehend. But my point is this, family, that the reason why I consider it so important is because it may be just the beginning, but it is a beginning. It's a first step towards the psychological psychological unbending of the mind, because we have been mind bended. So we naturally hate ourselves. We look in the mirror and we say, yeah, we hate our heritage. That's why we straighten our hair, because we hate ourselves. That's why we bleach our skin, because we hate ourselves. And the person that straightens their hair somehow condemns the person that's bleaching their skin when it's the same hatred. We're not happy being who we are. We want to look like those who would have oppressed us. And this is just reality. It has not gone away as yet, so no need for no one to be offended. So what happens when you introduce to the child African History Month essay competition? Write this essay for me, 300 words. What does African History Month mean? Not History Month, but what does African history and heritage mean to me? Well, I mean, teacher, it doesn't mean anything to me, so I don't think I'm going to write anything. Yeah, I have a laptop for you, brand new laptop, HP, brand new laptop, Dell, brand new digital camera. Yeah, I can get all of that. For writing the essay, well, you got to be the best or one of the better writers in the essay. Don't worry, I can do that. Give me a pen and a pad. What does African history mean to me? Okay, it doesn't mean anything to me, but I have an old computer. Oh, and I got my old little cellular phone. Let me Google African history. And that's what they usually do. They usually Google African history. I know. Remember, the papers come in front of me to mark them, to assess them. So while we do the adjudication of the process, you can see similar essays coming. Somebody just Googled African history and they just wrote what they saw. Some tried to change around a few words so it doesn't look as bad. You get a lot of that. And although that's not what you're looking for, believe me, that's a start. Of course, the vast majority of the essays that we get will be of children that really went into the whole aspect of putting their best into giving an essay to express how they really feel about their Afrocentricity. You get me? But many ones, they just want to win the laptop. They just want to win the bicycle. They just want to win whatever it is that we have to offer. And the prizes are getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, whether it's vacation trips, whether it's scholarships, whether it's whatever it is, it's getting bigger and bigger, because this is not a joke, family. You see, when you encourage the mind of a child to seek for their Afrocentricity, trust me, you've set them on their way. Let's repeat. A people without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots. All you have to do is meditate what a tree without roots is. It's like a lamp post, The roots is what takes the nutrients from the earth. So those of us who ain't got no knowledge of self, we're not gathering the nutrients that is just around us. We're just going with the flow. AI is more intelligent than us because we have no knowledge of self. So a lot of what we see the children get into today, what we call badness and what we call wayward behavior, if they understood their African history and heritage, they wouldn't behave like that. Oh, come on, priest, what kind of foolishness is that? What do you mean, what kind of foolishness is that? Read our ancestors' book, Frantz Fanon, The Wretched of the Earth. In that book, the brother clearly says that in the voodoo tradition, he says voodoo in the book, though. In the voodoo tradition, these traditions that they tell us, oh, stay away from that, stay away from that. Witchcraft. In the voodoo tradition, it says that if a man was to look at his brother's wife in a way that he should not look at his brother's wife, and I think you have an idea of how a man is not supposed to look at his brother's wife, without anyone coming to condemn him because of the culture that he is in, he would instinctively see where he's wrong, and then he would make an amends, however he does it, for that which he would have done by just thinking of his brother's wife in the wrong way. That's voodoo. That's voodoo. Not cut off the chicken head and hang it on no pole. You understand? Now, even in the scripture, the same Christ said, hey, listen, in the old days, Moses would tell you to stone a person when they committed adultery. But I say unto you, verily, verily, just to think about it, to conceive it, you would have achieved it. So even the principles of Christ, you could see them principles in the voodoo tradition. This is why we encourage African history and heritage to the Africans. This is madness that you have to fight to introduce the heritage of the ants to ants. Flamingos going to the flamingo school and learning about barracudas. And you know, a fellow flamingo have to fight hard to get flamingo history in schools. You know what I'm saying? Ducks being taught about, you know, rhinoceroses. Nothing wrong to know about everything, but you're not learning about yourself. If I'm a duck, I don't mind learning about the rhinoceros. If I'm a duck, I don't mind learning about the elephant. But if I'm a duck, I would love to learn about the duck. And that's us, the ducks, the Black people, the African people, the Ebonites, the melanated, the unique crop of creation who have been robbed and spoiled of many things, from resources, land, wealth, and concept, name, culture. I mean, come on, we're naked now. And there are people like myself who rise up and say, hey, listen, man, let's do something to heal these wounds. Again, hence the essay competition. I know the value of it, and I see the value of it, and yet still, we haven't even reached to the potential that we can reach with that essay competition that I do every year. Understand? So 3 years ago, when we began Patrons Day, we added to the Patrons Day a webathon. What did I say? We added to the Patrons Day a webathon. And the webathon is designed to raise the finance to assist in the funding of that essay competition that we do every February. Now, this is not a joke. Now, listen, I know we think very small, very, very small. Many of you saw the ad at the beginning where we gave the budget. The budget is 57,000, I think it's 700 and something $100. That's the budget for both essay competitions, because we have a national essay competition and we have an international essay competition, which we are yet to launch. We haven't launched that yet because the finance to fit the budget hasn't appeared as yet. So this year, again, remember this budget is for a competition that's in February. So that's why we're launching this early, so that we don't run up under it. Don't make Santa Claus come and take away all your finance when we have the education of our children to fund. This is very, very important. Now remember, for the essay competition, national and internationally, to be successful, it needs marketing and it needs promotion. All of what I'm doing here right now, this is marketing and promotion. It needs more than that. Marketing and promotion. Listen, 8 billion people in the world. So there are about 6 billion qualified children that can do this essay competition. Oh, we don't need all those people. We just need a little bit of people. No. You're talking to the wrong person, man. I don't think so. Why do you need a little bit of people? Huh? This is not no little bit of people thing. That's the problem as a people. We think too small. We just want to satisfy ourselves. So when we say, oh, well, 5 people, only 5 people came to do the essay competition. Oh, it's okay. At least 5 came. We should be happy. No, man. And they had 5 million children that would have come if they heard the word. They have 500 million that would have come if they heard the word. That's just reality. So we can't be thinking small. We already gave the budget for the national essay competition is about $26,000 to $27,000. People are already saying, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for who? What you talking about? Come on, we think too small. That is why people like Laura Trevelyan and Gladstone from England can come to Guyana and come to Grenada and leave $100,000, $100,000 in pound, British money. They leave $100,000 and say, that is for your reparation. And we give them airtime. We give them headline news. We give them front page of the magazine for coming all the way from wherever they are, from Britain, to give $100,000 for slavery, and they haven't even left the money. I don't think none of them give the money yet. You know, they're waiting for some sort of payback from BBC and some sort of other fund to come in, and then they're not going to really give. Listen, if you have 100,000 people in Grenada, and somebody come with $100,000, $100,000, that's $1 per person. How is it that we think so small, that we consider that something big, to the point, listen, somebody may say, well, she just did what she could do. Okay, she did what she could do, but that doesn't deserve the kind of headlines that it's getting. I mean, she and her 7 family that went down to Grenada had to have spent more than $100,000 just to be there. My point is, we think too small. That's my point. And because we think so small, anybody can come and run around us. So we hear, I'm having an essay competition, and we are raising $26,000 to $27,000 to put on that essay competition problem. People start to jump. So much money? So much money? What? So much money? Give me a break. We think, and that's chicken feed. I've already done the maximum. With proper promotion and marketing, with that budget, you can't reach 1 million people. You cannot reach 1 million people with that budget there. I'm the one that come down really, to meet the minds of the people that would be at least on this train here. And it's sad to say that. We need to think bigger. And this is why I'm very firm. This is the 11th year I'm doing this. And this process has been extremely accountable, extremely transparent. Anyone that follows us on YouTube, anyone in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda know our record. I mean, they have other competitions I see happening around me. I see people come and raise money all the time and never come back and say, well, this is exactly how much we would have raised. Maybe they don't have to. So I'm not saying that they have to. We do that every single year. And then we go on television, we go to the news media and give them a report of what the money was spent on. Nobody in the world can pick up any phone and say, well, I won this prize and I never got it. 11 years. 11 years. So even if we come and say, hey, we're looking to raise $1 million, we know exactly how to put that in motion so that, as I said, 1 million children could partake of the essay competition. What's wrong with us? People put money and invest money into keeping us as a slave, But we're not ready to fund our own revolution. And then they have some other ones that I am very hesitant to even mention there. $27,000 for the essay competition. What does he want with all that money? All that foolishness. What do I want with all that money? Man, if we really have a budget of 27,000 and we only raise 20,000, just believe me, I am the one that have to put the other 7,000. And again, this is the 11th year, family. I'm not going to encourage no small thinking to keep me and those who I love enslaved. We got to move on. As I said in the ad, we have children to save. So I am looking for the serious ones amongst you, not the waste of timers, not the small thinkers and all of these things here. The other thing old people say, teeth not like to see teeth with long back. And when you see people always on them foolishness, is because they're dishonest, because they're crooks themselves. Now I'm very, very, very serious. So I'm looking for the serious ones amongst you, family. You understand the purpose of the essay competition? It has worked and it is working. It gets children that have no idea about Africa to go and do their research. That's the system we're in. We live in a system where you have parents that are conscious, and for some reason, they just don't have the time to teach you about Africa. Can you imagine that? That's why we have an international homeschool program. You know, you want me to be honestly sharp with you, my brothers and sisters who I love? If you have children and they're not on our international homeschool program, how much is the international homeschool? I don't even think it's $300 for a lifetime program where your children would be. That's better than the essay competition, where your children would be, you know, daily elevating themselves in a love for Africa. I mean, let's just be serious. You know the quality of information we have. That's why you follow me. That's why you listen to every video, because you know we are qualified. Don't do that to your children. And this Patrons Day, we have a special, you know, as it relates to the International Homeschool Program. We always have specials on Patrons Day. So when you order the International Homeschool Program, as a parent, you get the Ancient Astronomy Course. If you order the Ancient Astronomy Course, you get a free, you get your children enrolled for free in the International Homeschool Program. You get what I'm saying? So the same way as the essay competition that we do every year. I'm telling you, it works because it gets the youths going. I know children that it gets them on the way and kind of shake them up and wake them up. It's just a spark. I mean, we have greater ideas than that. And that is why on Patrons Day, on the 5th of November, we will be presenting the manifesto document, which is preserve the generations to come. Not just no essay competition, a document designed that you can put on the table of any government. And if they implement it, 10 years down the line, they're supposed to be able to look back and say, yeah, this stuff is working, because it goes straight to the schools that they force you to go. You comprehend? Remember, these schools aren't designed for no higher education. They're designed to keep you as a slave. And if the people now that you have elected, and senators and governors and these people who are supposedly conscious too, you know, once they're not scared and they can see your vision, it's just a stroke of a pen, and your policies can be implemented, and you have a better generation to come. But they're giving us, you know, they're not ready for that. So we implement the essay competition. We go to the regular people and business people and say, hey, I have a budget of 10,000 this year, and one's fun. And where it falls short, we put in the rest. Every year we do that. And the budget is getting bigger and bigger. What is $26,000? Next year is going to be 50,000. The budget is getting bigger and bigger because we have bigger ideas. We see more children that we need to reach out to. That's why now we have an international essay competition, which that by itself is $31,000. They have children waiting for this. Those of us who have the power, and this is another thing, $27,000. I mean, come on, that's $1 from 27 of us. 27,000 of us, pardon. Or $1,000 from 27 of us. Or just $500 from 52 of us. That's $500 from 52 of us, you know. More than 52 people checking this out. That's $500 from 52 of us. So that means that's $250 from about 104 of us. If 104 of us put $25, if my maths is correct, I hope I'm not off there. If 104 of us put $25, I hope the maths is correct. I gotta check myself. We should be $250. I know something's wrong. If 104 of us put $250, that is the budget for the essay competition, at least the national one. So you see, that's why we need to reach not just those of you who I'm speaking to, you're willing. That's why we ask you to share links. So all what we talking here, and you say, man, that's a good one. Man, I wish I could do that. Man, I wish I could contribute, brother, but things are so hard I can contribute. You can share the link. I'm sure you can share this link and keep sharing the links. I'm sure when you see the flyers come up, I'm sure you can, clip them off and share the link. So if we are really serious as a team, those who can't do this can do that. I'm doing what I can do. I'm doing that groundwork. I'm doing the material work here. And I'm still funding it too, because all of what you see takes funding. Everything takes funding. And I like to stand on this principle. You don't hear us come here and ask for no donation for anything. Just think about that good. Unless it's with a group of which we may just be a part or assisting the group in the process. We at the Institute never come and say we're looking for no donation and the donation box is below. We don't talk donation. We talk business. You know what I talk. I have this for sale. You know what I talk. I have this product. You can't get a better one. Because I encourage business. I'm not backing off a business. We need to be more business minded. Anybody that fights business is a devil. We need to be more business minded. But when it comes down to Patreon still, when it comes down to the 5th of November, this year, 2023, as we have done for the past 3 years, we are seeking for your genuine assistance for the webathon. Yes, we have two targets we want to hit for the national essay competition and the international essay competition. So the full target is approximately 57 or so $1,000. That's the full target, and we can do that. That's 57 people put in $1,000, and that's it. Again, that's 104 or so put in $500. Simple as that. That's 208 people. I know I've got 208 people with me putting in $250. You understand? That's about 416 people putting in $125. I know I have 416 people with me. I know I have 416 people that says, yeah, this is some good work, that have $125. We can make that target that very day. I remember when Patrons, they done, we gonna come back the day, you don't have to wait and look for us, and we'll tell you exactly what has been raised, and you will follow us all the way to the prize giving ceremony when all the prizes are put in the hands of the winners. Family, remember, this work is something from my heart, from my heart. I don't play with this at all. And this is why we stand on our transparency and accountability. Nobody can get up and talk about us. And the reason why I'm pushing that is because I'm looking for those of you who are sincerely, genuine when it comes to the upliftment of our people to come on board. I mean, this is a serious project here. Everybody can't do it, but I am doing it. So it is the responsibility for those who may not be doing it to even assist. Family, give thanks for your presence. Life give and the keep of life. Jah Rastafari.
My beloved family, every year for the past 10 years, I have hosted the Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition. Over the years, it would have grown by leaps and bounds to engulf the whole nation and beyond. As His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey has taught us, a people without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots. Internationally, wherever African people are found, the education system is not geared to teach them about the knowledge of self. This lack of knowledge of self greatly fuels the downward spiral from the womb to the tomb for many of our people. Let me remind you of the officially recognized school to prison pipeline. The African History Month essay competition has been designed to encourage and inspire the zeal in our children for the knowledge of self. The competition encourages them to research their history and heritage, then articulate it in essay form. This is a project that demands thousands of dollars just for the basic prizes, marketing, and promotion. But we are not focused on the basics. We are thinking big. We have children to save. On Sunday, the 5th of November, 2023, we of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will be hosting the third of our annually presented Patron's Day. On that day, we present our international webathon designed to create and raise the funds for our national and international African History Month essay competition. To deliver a well-executed Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition with prize-giving ceremony and banquet attached, the budget will be $26,500 United States currency. This is for the national essay competition, while the international essay competition will be $31,225 United States currency, a small price for the results that will come. It is obvious that we have been consistent with this project. We have a clear record of good accountability and great transparency. So those who are well-wishers of our children should feel free to contribute to this very important and timely project. Our ultimate target on Patron's Day, the 5th of November, 2023, is $57,725. Family, we are looking for your genuine assistance in this long-running, well-respected project, Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge African History Month Essay Competition. Patron's Day, 5th of November, 2023. You can contribute via PayPal, CashApp, and via other apps. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Give thanks in advance.